Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling a topic that literally sits in every single one of our homes: pharmaceutical safety and corporate accountability. We're unpacking some massive recent reporting from the Economic Times about a major regulatory crackdown on pharmaceutical fraud. Now, this isn't just dry bureaucratic red tape we're talking about. This is about the fundamental safety of the products we put into our bodies.
So think about this for a second. How do you really know the medicine you take actually works? Every single time you open your medicine cabinet, take out a pill for a headache, or give life-saving medication to a loved one, you're taking a huge leap of faith. You implicitly trust that the pill does exactly what the label says it does. You trust the manufacturer, and you trust the regulators. But that entire ecosystem of trust, it relies completely on the integrity of the scientific data backing it up.
Section 1. The danger of fake data. Breaking the trust.
Let's get on exactly the same page here and define what we're actually dealing with: fake data submissions. What does that mean? Well, it refers to pharmaceutical companies providing falsified or manipulated information to regulators regarding a drug's safety, its quality, or its efficacy. We aren't talking about a simple typo in a spreadsheet or an honest math mistake. We are talking about deliberate, calculated deception. These are instances of companies cooking the numbers to make a drug look safer, more stable, or more effective than it actually is, just so they can push it onto pharmacy shelves.
The stark reality is pretty simple. Fake data equals unsafe or completely ineffective drugs for patients. If a regulator approves a drug based on a lie, the end result is a patient taking a medication that might not cure their illness, or worse, might actively harm them. The real-world consequences of these fraudulent submissions aren't just headaches for inspectors. They directly impact our health, our longevity, and our overall safety.
Section 2. The government strikes back. The center's intervention. And that brings us to a crucial update from the Economic Times. The headline reads, "Center cracks down on fake data submissions to debar erring drug makers." This is the core policy shift we are exploring today. The government, referred to here as the center, is taking decisive, uncompromising action against pharmaceutical fraud. They aren't just issuing sternly worded letters anymore. They are pulling out the big guns to ensure absolute, unquestionable compliance.
Now, what's incredibly interesting here is the massive escalation in how this is being handled. Historically, manipulating data might just result in standard penalties. A slap on the wrist, a basic warning, or maybe a fine that a massive pharmaceutical corporation could easily just write off as the cost of doing business. But the new consequence changes the game entirely: complete debarment of the erring drug maker. This is a massive escalation in regulatory enforcement. It's no longer just a financial penalty. It is a literal existential threat to the drug maker's very ability to operate.
Section 3. Debarring the rule breakers. The mechanism of action.
Let's walk through exactly how this plays out step by step. Step 1. A drug maker, hoping to cut a few corners or rush a product to market, submits fake data to the regulatory body. But then step 2. The center actually detects the anomalies in the submission. Because with modern data forensics and much stricter oversight, it is becoming so much harder to hide manipulated numbers. And finally, step 3. The hammer falls. The company is officially debarred from the market. They attempt to cheat, and instead of a simple rejection letter and a pat on the back for next time, they hit a newly reinforced brick wall of regulation.
The impacts of this debarment are severe, and they are immediate. First, there's an immediate loss of market access. You simply cannot sell your drugs if you're debarred, full stop. Second, it utterly destroys the corporate reputation. Who wants to do business with or buy from a known fraudster? Third, the absolute inability to sell regulated products essentially freezes their revenue streams overnight. And finally, and maybe most importantly, all of this serves as a massive industry-wide deterrent. If you see your competitor lose their entire business for faking data, you are going to make absolutely certain your own data is completely pristine.
Section 4. Safer medicines for you. The real-world impact.
So, what does all of this mean for us? The crucial point to take away is this: strict corporate accountability at the highest regulatory levels directly ensures safety in your medicine cabinet. By mercilessly weeding out the bad actors who try to cheat the system, the government is basically building a much stronger firewall around the end consumer. It means that when you do take that leap of faith we talked about at the very beginning of this explainer, the safety net catching you is fundamentally stronger. The medicine you take is far, far more likely to be exactly what it claims to be. Which leads us to our final burning question to leave you with today. With these much stricter rules and the very real threat of total debarment in place, is the era of pharmaceutical loopholes finally coming to an end? Are we entering a new age where corporate accountability actually outpaces the desire to cut corners for a quick profit? It's a truly fascinating shift in the regulatory landscape, and it's one that directly impacts the health and safety of every single one of us.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep seeking out the data, and I'll catch you next time.